So I do want to talk about dementia and Alzheimer's because there's one case in particular. I cover a lot of like celebrity news, legal scandals. There's one in particular that involves a real housewife who's very polarized in the news right now, and her husband had a very big law firm here in Los Angeles, and
This is Erika Jayne.
Erika Jayne.
I watched Beverly Hills with my wife.
See,
I know it.
Will knows. Dr. Will knows. So her husband, it's been revealed that he was misappropriating client funds. And very quickly after that came out, he immediately went under a conservatorship and then was placed in an old folks' home because they claim he developed Alzheimer's and dementia. However, there are interviews of him in October. By the time he ended up in the assisted care facility, it was like January. So people are saying, how can Alzheimer's or dementia develop that quickly? Is that possible to develop it that quickly, or maybe there were some earlier signs?
Yeah, I don't think you would see that with Alzheimer's disease, but there likely are other variants that have a more accelerated progression. But I couldn't just like I'm not a medical doctor, so.
But have you heard of like cases like that where in 3 months you go from
no to go from completely like having 100% of your cognitive wherewithal to like using dementia as an excuse for. No.
I mean, they did say 3 years ago he got into a car accident and had a traumatic brain injury, but he was still practicing law up until the scandal broke.
Maybe he had a brain injury that we're not hearing about. Maybe, maybe he came off of some drug, and he's in some kind of like with drug withdrawal. I mean, there's so many things that it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Typically doesn't progress that fast. Have you?
It doesn't.
No, I would agree with that. And I don't know the ins and outs of that case or the situation, and that's kind of pop culture as a whole, right? You hear headlines, you hear facts, but insiders know fully the ins and outs of the case and can work that out.
And I've covered. That's part of the reason I get so much shit on Twitter is I read all the court documents, I interview the lawyers, and I understand. I've changed a lot, Max, since the last had you on.
Reading court.
I've become legally blonde now.
Are you gonna be a lawyer now?
Listen, I might Kim Kardashian. If you don't have to go to law school now, you can just study at home.
Yeah, you could do.
And she passed the bar.
Baby bar.
That's amazing. I can see that for you.
I don't know if I'd actually do that though.
You'd be a fabulous lawyer.
Imagine me launching a line of Skims and skincare, and then also getting people out of prison.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I think it's a thing.
You contain multitudes.
I can spar with words. I can do it in court.
Yeah, exactly.
But what's your take on the Erika Jayne stuff?
Well, I don't.
As a fan and
I don't know all the ins and outs of it. What I heard, my wife said that she knew Erika saw changes in her husband a long time ago, spoke up, and no one said anything.
Right.
So there could have been neurodegenerative changes for a while, and that's typically what you see is sort of a decline over time. So. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case or not, if that's just the legal position, but it seems to be like that's the story.
It also
there's also like stroke, the possibility of something like that. That would be a more acute explanation for those changes. But with no other information, it's hard to say.
I also feel like there was like a need to protect his ego by trying to conceal certain things so that he could continue to still practice law because
and if he's running the law firm, he may have, I don't know what he was doing. He might have just been doing not very much, actually.
He was transferring funds out of client trust accounts to buy his wife earrings.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to know more about this. I don't know anything.
It's actually fascinating when you dive into it.
You live in LA. You should know this stuff.